You remember when Amiibo served the purpose? To be able to tap in to get cool stuff in majority of first-party games and third-party games back at the height of its popularity? Now at least you can still find some new games that give it some sort of purpose, but it isn't as popular or as hyped up as it used to be. Today we'll be more or less going into a brief history of Amiibo and answer the question, is it worth collecting in 2022? I still remember the Amiibo craze of 2014-2015. It was at the height of the toys to life craze in video games. When you can buy toys that come in with a built-in NFC chip, so when you scan into your game, it comes to life. More or less, it was a way for game companies to make even more money on base cost games. Activision, Disney, and Lego were in on the action, and Nintendo wanted to get in on it too. They came in with very detailed figures that can have many different functions depending on the game you scan them into, which actually was a match made in heaven. Their debut lineup of Amiibo figures were for Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS. It allowed you to have your own version of the character you own with custom stats so you can have your friends fight your creation. It was nostalgic to think the opening cutscene from Melee, one of the best games on GameCube, was finally coming true. And of course, the massive influx of cash was coming for Nintendo. Every wave from every character, it was a rush and a leap of faith to get your hands on at least one. Retail exclusive, limited quality, the supply and demand reached a fever pitch, and it showed. I remember going back to Toys R Us back in the day and hoping to God that I get the one I wanted. It got crazy to the point where even restocks were big events in their own right. I hunted down the Lucario, which sold out earlier that year, but I finally found one at a Nintendo New York restock event, and the line was a block long. City block, to be specific. The craze kept on going to the point where Nintendo decided to expand it to other franchises they own, such as Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Animal Crossing, just to name a few. Heck, they even crossed over with Skylanders to make the very first ever and only Skylander Amiibo crossover figure. The sky was the limit for Nintendo on what they could do next with the brand, but like all things, it had to come to an end. The moment for me where the saturation occurred for the brand was when they announced the Amiibo cards. That's right, you now have to buy blind booster packs to get even a chance to get all the characters in one specific series. It used to be hoping to find a figure somewhere in a store and hoping to just pay retail price on it. But now you had to buy multiple packs to get a chance to get them all, and they weren't cheap. Eventually, the Smash Bros. Series of figures came to an end after the DLC characters came and went. The novelty was dying down and an end to an era was fast approaching. Now, to be fair, they still do make new Amiibos for certain new games, but it isn't quite as sought out as before. You would rush to stores to get that rare one-of-a-kind Amiibo on Street Day, but now it's just sitting on a rack hoping to get a home. The level of importance has reached the bottom where even the newer characters for Ultimate have just casually been delayed. There would have been a bigger uproar back in 2015, but nowadays, it'll be released and it'll just be there whenever it comes out. It really is a damn shame because there was a lot they could have done more with the brand. I always say they could have made a full-on Pokemon series of Amiibos or even Amiibo cards. That alone would have made billions of dollars, not just on the popularity alone, but just on the amount of Pokemon there are. Even by then with Gen 6, they would have made billions. But alas, 'twas not to be. Although Funko did get there first and added billions to their empire. To be honest, the die down wasn't just Amiibo, it was the entirety of Toys for Life products. Like any craze, it came to an end after 2017, when sales and attention for just about anything popular just died down. Skylanders ran out of gimmicks, Disney Infinity used up their big 3 IPs, and LEGO Dimensions didn't make the money to support any more expansions or to make a sequel. Whatever you have currently is a reminder of an era of a now forgotten age. A fun time all around, but definitely if I had the income that I have today back then, this channel would have looked a lot different, just saying. To roll it back around, is Amiibo collecting still worth it in 2022? Maybe. Baseline, it's like anything in collecting. It's what you want to own and want to hunt down. In terms of purpose, the Nintendo Switch still has the NFC functionality, but besides Ultimate and Skyrim on the Switch, I can't think of any other game right now that's taking advantage of it. It is very appreciated that Nintendo still has Amiibos on their mind and releasing them once in a while, but it isn't as much of a big focus anymore nowadays. I'll still slowly collect them just for the sake of completing my collection, but I won't be turning on my Switch anytime soon to see what I can get from tapping them in. While I do hope down the line we will get to see some sort of revival of them, I wouldn't really hold my breath on it. But until then, they're just going to look great in my little cubby. But write down below, have you started your own Amiibo collection in recent years, or have you been collecting since the beginning? I'd love to hear your stories. But until the next video, this has been Joe from the Collection Compass signing off. But until we see each other again, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.